chance to play with some of the concepts that we did yesterday. I woke up this morning with my hands trying to move through in my sleep as I was thinking about toyus, and I was thinking about hand positions, and I was thinking about the toroidal figure 8, the pattern it creates, and how that kind of goes through the body. So anyway, I rose bright and early to try to play with those concepts, and I'll bring a little bit of that to light today as we just play and explore. So today, I want you to put a little bit of compassion into your heart, and just to, as we experienced earlier in the sessions, that when we don't do Tai Chi for ourselves, we do it for other people. We have a difference that occurs in our own body, but also we have a difference that occurs for everybody that we're connected to. So what I want you to do is just start from that place. I'm just reminding you, compassion and the opportunity to give to others and to use Tai Chi in a way that provides for others is just so incredibly important. So as we get started, I was thinking about how we could expand through set 2 from the Tai Chi set. So I would like to do the seated version of part 1 and then into part 2. We're going to go past fist underneath the elbows all the way up to push needle to C bottom. And that's going to give us a pattern for us to really flow with and start to get movement to happen. We're going to do the seated form. So if this is new to you, please sit down and then enjoy just functioning with arms. And if you're seated and you know all of the nuances of pushing into the feet, you can do all those pieces, taking the level of the seated form up in the way that we can. And then I'll do standing so that we also have that option as well. So we'll start with the set, and we'll put the bow in at the beginning. And this is going to give us the opportunity to give gratitude as well as our compassion. So sharing out with others, and also to thank all those who have passed to us, so we have what we have. Okay, so here we go. Part 1 of Tai Chi. Here's our commencement. Nice and easy. Gonna rock just back from the sit bone towards the tailbone, and then pull the hand forward and fall into the feet. Hold the ball. Left grasp bird's tail. Hold the ball, and then grasp bird's tail. So this one, putting the fingertip into the wrist, we talked about this week. Bow and arrow back. Palm towards palm. Open the hands, and then 2 hands are going to come out. This is going to come back. Fingertips are going to link together. They come out. And push forward. Step up to raise hands. Squeezing the arms together, opening the spine. Hand is going to come down, and then you're going to fall forward into the hands. Push into the feet. White stork spreads wings. Right hand is going up to the top. Let that come all the way around. And then we have a brush knee on the end. Strum the pepa. Open the hands. Brush knee. Twist step. Hold the flowers. Hand comes in, out. Wipe the sleeve. Let that go forward. Wipe the sleeve. 2 hands. That's going to come out. Sink. Crossing over. Nice and long in the spine. And then sink and let that go. All right. That's part 1. So now what I want to do is add on to part 2. So we're going to cross the hands, carry tiger to the mountain. And then we're going to go brush knee right. Bow and arrow back. Hello, hunter. Palm towards palm. Open the hands. 2 hands are going to go out. This is going to come around, left hip goes out. So this is what we did last day, making the T, dropping the elbows, comes all the way around, and then pushing out. Fist is going to go underneath the elbow. That's where we finished last day. Turn the palm, and then we're going to open the right hand, ward off monkey. We're going to come back, left hand goes to lower dantian, and you're just going to roll from the sit bone towards the tailbone, straight back, and then there'll be a spiral that comes after that. Hand's going to turn, sink. Open, ward off monkey, open. This is flying at a slant, so it's going to come around, hold the ball. Hello you, I hope I got this right. Bow and arrow back, not distracted. Palm to palm, open the hands, two hands, comes around, whip to one side. Okay, half a step, push needle to C bottom. I sure hope I'm right. Thanks a lot, Hunter. Push back. Hunter and a fox got into it this morning. Left hand's going to come up to the top. He seems no worse for wear. It's the rest of us. And through. That's where we're going to stop. Okay. Hunter's also figured out that this is the kitchen and it's supper time. And he'd really like to have been fed before I started. Okay. So that gets us started with the movement. Starts to get the breath to slow down. We know that we're sharing our Tai Chi out. We're passing it to each other. We're passing it to those people who need that extra energy right now, who are doing extra jobs and caring under very stressful situations. So we're just sending that energy out to them as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that whole set again. Hopefully I did it right. I'll try to do it again, right? And what I'm going to try to do this time is talk about how you change the weight through the feet. So for those people that have known Tai Chi for a while, you may have experienced this already. If you haven't, it might be a little bit more information. If it's too stressful, I know you already have to try to switch around what I'm doing in your mind. So just because of the angle face to face. Okay, so let's start from commencement. And let's have it just a rise right up through the top of the head, sink. That's going to come sit bone to tailbone. And then you're going to fall into the feet, right hand coming forward. Push into the feet, hold the ball. Falling forward, push into the feet, hold the ball. This goes fingertip to the wrist, fall into the feet. Bow and arrow is going to come back. Fall into the feet, palm to palm. Open the hands. And two hands are going to go forward. So this is going to come around, whip to one side. You've pushed into the feet. Now right here, you're going to push into the left one. Takes you over to the right. Push into the right one. Takes you back to center. Step up to raise hands, push into both feet. That's up to the top, to the sit bones, long spine, and then as the elbows come down, you're going to lengthen and open the back. Open the right hand down, fall into the feet. Push into both feet, rolling up. Now right here, lift right up, put space in all the vertebrae. Remember our talk about emotions in the spine. It's an opportunity there. Push into the left foot, turns you to the right, and now you come back to center. Strum the pig out. Push into the left, and then you push into the right. It's going to line you back up. Open, pushing into the left. Push into the right, brings you forward, and then fall. Push into the right. Gives you that little twist there. It's the tiniest little push into the left. So So as Doug would say, it's a little nudge in there, and brush knee. Push into the left, gives you the slightest little turn. Now here you go. Nice and long, open the spine, line everything up, sink. Push into the left, and that's a brush knee left. Push into the right. That takes you up for hold the flowers. Push into the left, brings you back to the middle. Push into the right. Push into the left. And then fall forward. Wipe the sleeve. 2 hands. Push into the feet. Prepare to close entrance. The arms, you're going to go down towards the tailbone. Pull up to the sit bones. And you're going to push into the left, which is going to shift you over to the right, which is going to shift you back to the middle. And then you have brush knee right. So it's like you just teetered up there for a moment. Wipe the sleeve, palm to palm, falling into the feet. Open the hands, and 2 hands were falling forward. It's going to come out, whip out, diagonal, goes past lower dantian. Hands turn to make a T. Now we're going to sink back towards the tailbone, push into your right foot. That spirals you to the left. Push into your left foot, spirals you back to the right, and you're going to reach out. Push into both feet, turning that left hand. Fist is going to go underneath the elbow. And then as you go to turn the hand, you'll notice the back and the hips will change and then drop. Push into the left. Ward off monkey. This is going to come back, push into the right, sink. Push into that right a little bit more, sink, push into the left. You feel lower back, I just had a little funk in there. Okay, it comes around to the right, push into the right, open. Now push into the left, maybe you're flying at a slant, reach out. I think that's what I might have missed when Hunter walked into the room. Step up to raise hands, sink. Right hand's going to come down, falling into the feet. White stork spreads wings. Yep, I think that's where I got lost last time. Right foot, you're going to push into it to start that spiral. Left foot to bring you back. And then brush knee left. Push back with both feet. This will be push knee. Oh, that feels much better. Comes down, sorry about that. Push into both feet. Palms are going to face each other. Bring that energy between those palms back towards the ear, falling forward, and expand those hands. Rotate them around. I'm just going to finish this off. Push into both feet. Left hand is going to come up to the top. Right hand comes up. This is going to go out and pass, and we're going to stop there. Awesome. Okay. Definitely I made some mistakes while Hunter was wandering through. Sorry about that. But now you've got that little pattern. I'm going to go to standing and do one standing set. So people that are sitting, you're just going to repeat everything we did. Of course, you're going to remember all of it. No problems at all, right? Just nod your head. Okay, so we're going to go with our commencement. I'm sorry, I need to slide down a little bit this way. I'm just going to take my camera and put it up a bit. All right. I see Charlotte's name, Susan, Jeanette, Yvonne, wonderful, David. Awesome. Glad you're here. Okay, so let's do standing version. So we have, I'm just going to come over a little bit. Okay, commencement. And right here, I want you to sink down into the feet. Let that hip release. Open the lower back as the hands turn. And then this is going to come around. Right foot faces the side wall. Left heel lets go. Open the shoulders. And then sink down into the right leg. Step. Left grasp for its tail. Sink down. And then step with your right foot. Bow and arrow, you can't quite see there. Fingertip to the wrist. Bow and arrow comes back. Here's our Toyu. Talked about Toyus yesterday. Palm towards palm. Open, sink back into that back leg, and push through. Sink back into the left leg again. Here comes our whip. Right foot's going to turn. Hands are going to rotate. Sink down into that leg, step, and turn. Sink back into the right. Turn in that left toe, heel's going to go out. So right here, seated and standing, spine opens, lengthen at the top. Elbows are going to squeeze together. Foot drops. Comes through and reach out. Push all the way up to the top. White stork spreads wings. That's got a spiral on it. Coming all the way through. Step through and push up. Okay, half a step, heel goes out. So right here, up through the top of the spine, lengthen all the vertebra, and then as the elbows come together, the whole spine drops again. Open, brush knee. Twist step, hold the flowers. I hope I got that all right. Step back well, in, out. Wipe the sleeve, and come through. Okay, comes back. It's been a long day today. Push out. If I made another mistake, you'll just know I'm human. Coming around, sink. Cross the hands over, and you're going to go over to the left. Just adjust your foot. Open the back. So as the hands come out, you're just letting base of the spine open. Turn that left toe, and you're going to go to the back right corner. Brush knee right. Sink back. Palm to palm. Open the hands. And two hands are going to go out. Sink back into your left foot. This is going to come around. Whip out diagonal, comes up to make a T. Sink. You're on your right leg. Step. Push from the right foot over to the left, and that gives you the spiral. Step, and you're going to go right underneath the lamp and push out into the T. Okay. Right hand goes underneath the elbow. Palm of the left turns out. You're going to sink down into the right leg and sneak out of that lamp. Ward off monkey. Hand comes through. Step back. Push out. Drop that tailbone. Open. Push through. Sink. Okay, this is going to come around. Step back with your right foot. Around to the right. Over to the left. And reach out. This is all repeat. Step up. Heel goes out. Sink. Right hand is going to drop down. Put your foot down. Now you're going to just turn your foot and then glide across. Right hand's going to go up to the top. White stork spreads wings. Goes all the way around. That's going to come through. Step through. Brush knee. Half a step. Stand on your right leg. Put your left foot back just for balance. I'll just move away from the camera so you can see. The right palm is going to turn to the floor, fingertips to the floor. Left hand goes around the wrist. We're going to drop down, push into the right foot. This is going to sink back. You can feel the energy between the two palms. Step, and then you expand the hands out. Sink back into the right. That's going to turn the left foot around. Sink onto the left, placing the right foot. Zip, out, pull. And that's where we're going to stop. Okay. Lots of pieces in there. I could go over so many different things. It's just so much to play. reminder, we did a lot this last week about the spine and emotions and putting the space in between each vertebra and how that releases emotion and block things. So as we're sending energy out to all those people who are a little bit stressed, they've been working really hard, they're going to have a lot of tightness going in their back. So what we're trying to do today, let that go. So when we do this action here for step up to raise hands, which is the right elbow, right here, the whole tailbone is going to drop and sink. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but I'm hoping. And as the elbows line up, there's that little piece that's just going to line up in there. We do the same again when we do strum the pepa, same thing. And there's a release that goes down the back, lengthening that spot. Okay, I just wanted to bring that in there because there's a lot of pieces happening there. And I wanted to review some of the themes that the Wine Country Tai Chi Club and Tai Chi Cape Breton clubs have been doing in themes from January, February, March. We started off in January with Pons. Pons being expansion. So if the hands were coming out, how the tailbone released and opened through the back and created an expansive movement. Diaphragm drops, big breath goes in. So we worked on that. When you get to the top, there's this moment of pause where the movement suspends just for that moment. And it's like there's no time that exists in that space. And then the contraction starts. Down, sink, sink, sink. And even though that's a contraction coming back in this way, the spine, every time lower dantian comes in, the spine goes long, which is so cool. So as the hands start to drop here, and there's this contraction that's happening here, there's a length that goes down the spine at the same time. So we have those three forces. The theme for April will be the pause that happens at the bottom of all that before you start the next cycle. But I just wanted to review those three before we get to tomorrow, because then tomorrow we'll be able to start into that theme. So in the movements that we're going to do from ward off monkey down to push needle to sea bottom, we're going to try to find some of those little pausing moments, expansion and contraction and then pausing. And we're just going to play around with that in relation to the spine and putting space in between the spine and letting go of emotion. Nice deep breath. Okay, no small feet. All right, so we have got up to fist underneath elbow. I'm going to do standing first and then I'll do seated after. We had the palm to us just as the hand was coming underneath the elbow, and then the palm rotated out. And you already know about when we did previous days, hand flat and rotate up, how that can change your lower back if you've let everything go. If not, it just holds solid, feels like a block, nothing's going to change. And it's just like the hands turn. But if you let it all go and relax, you can actually feel the difference in the tissue between those two rotations. So your hand starts with the palm towards you, and you have this fist that's a sideways hand underneath, and then you have the palm change. And what I discovered as I was playing with this in my sleep was what happens, it's like a wave. So I'm going to exaggerate just so you can see. It's like a wave that occurs by the turn of the hand. Okay, and again, I'm exaggerating it only so you can see it. So we get to here, and the left heel is out, and you're sitting down on your right leg with it's a high sit, so you're not down too low, but your back is open and your spine's open. And as you turn the palm, it shifts down the spine. So if you're sitting up high here, all of a sudden it opens you up and drops you and your tailbone opens. So just that little action can create a complete new vocabulary for you on how to let the back go. So if you didn't feel it, then you're looking for how can I relax enough and deep breathe so that I can feel that. How can I get to that space? Okay, so palm towards you, You've got a high sit on your right leg, and then as you palm turns, you sink the tailbone down. Okay, so now I'm going to go from there. Open the right hand, and your spine stays open. So then we're going to step back, patois. The hands are going to turn to come in, and then we're going to sink. And there's where the spine goes, open. Out, and right at the end of this, your hand is up, but just before you step, there's a moment of pause. And then the hand turns, and your hips change the way they're functioning. Open, step patois, so the hands come in. There's a moment where we're balanced, and then there's this drop in the spine and expansion. Okay, so I'm just going to move forward, so I'm not into the wall. Okay, we're going to step back with the right foot, balance is on the left, and then there's this moment where as you push down into the right foot, the tailbone lines up, and you have an unwind. And if you notice the hands change position right there into the release out. I don't know if we're going to get as far as I thought because there's just so much in there. Let's play a little bit more. Okay, let's go from fist underneath elbow. So the palm is towards you, right hand, fist is going under. Then you've got that sink on the right leg, palm turns, and you can feel the tailbone drop and open. As the right palm comes up, that adjusts the right hip, step patois, and the left hand is going to turn. There's this moment where you're just pausing. There's a spin on that right foot, and as the hands come in, they change positions. Tailbone drops, hand goes to lower dantian with the left, and then expand. Okay, now my right hand, the heel is going out just at the last second before I turn it. As my hand goes to do that, my tailbone starts to drop, and the hand and the tailbone match. Sink. Step patois. Opens. So I'll do that again. So the right palm is up, the left hand is out, the palm is out. It's at the last second, just before you change, there's the pause, that moment of stillness. The hips change position, step patois, and then the palm turns up, and there's a rotation that comes through the hip. Okay, so you have this action going on, tailbone going up and down, and you have this passing through, which are figure 8 patterns. And what you're doing is you're sending energy through your biofield, so the outside of your body to the inside. And as you do that, you are constantly changing the monitoring that's going on in the hip. I know there's other parts of the body too. There'd be shoulders, there'd be jaw, there'd be ankles, all kinds of places. I'm just focusing on the hip at the moment because it's a big position that if you relax, you can feel it. Okay, so which I'm hoping you can feel. Now, you can continue to expand that little piece, but what I'm going to do is grab the seat because anybody who's sitting down is going to feel things slightly differently, so I just want to talk through that part. So if I come to here, and I go to fist underneath elbow, I'm going to start with the palm facing me. Right hand is going to go underneath. I'm just going to turn and think. Maybe I'll give you a little bit different angle. Maybe that'll help. Just for what you see and trying to orient. So the right hand is coming underneath, and the left hand is palm towards you, and then you're going to turn the hand. As you do that, you're going from sitting up tall on the sit bones, and you turn the palm, and you actually end up rotating back towards the tailbone. So it's here, and then it's here. So hopefully you can feel that. I have all kinds of little muscles in my lower spine that are going, what are you trying to do to me? Do you realize how long you've been sitting in the chair at the computer? I don't want to do that movement right now. So I've got these little aches and complaints coming in, so I know I've got something right. Okay, so palm is towards, and then it goes away, and you sink back towards the tailbone, and that's going to open. Okay, so now palm is out, palm is up. There's this moment, transitions, comes through, and then sink. So that's going to go towards the tailbone, and then just before your hand gets to the end, you go up, sitting on the sit bone. Palm is going to turn both directions, sink, comes through, lift. Okay, so that's going to go up, palm turns, this is going to come through. Okay, so let's finish this. We're just going to go up, this is going to go around into flying at a slant. Right hand is going to turn palm up, left hand is palm underneath or facing down. Then you would have strong step up to raise hands, which is the elbow on the right, a little bit higher than the left, and you've lined up the spine. You can feel right down the column. Okay, shall we try it again? I'm going to pretend you said yes. Okay, so fist underneath elbow, palm is towards you, and you open. And you feel yourself just rotate back a little bit towards the tailbone. That's got to lift up onto the sit bone, sink. So there's just that pause, that moment. And here we have contraction, but an expansion in the spine. Lift up. That would be the end of that motion. Sink, contract, expand, lift. You've got that pause for just a moment where the hands change. Sink. Open, up on the sit bone, push into the left, push into the right, push into the left, push into the right. Line up the spine. Yeah, I think that's more than enough for today. So forget what I said about how far we were going to go. That is a lot. There's a lot going on in the lower back. And I wanted to play with the Tor Yu a little bit. So I'm going to stay seated. And probably, I'm not sure which is the best way for me to do this. I face this direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my right leg straight out and my left leg at an angle. And last day, we were doing this with the hands. Okay, where the palm is down, goes out, comes back. So we create a figure 8 pattern in the Tor Yu here. Okay. This is how Master Moy shared the Tor Yu in the seated version. And it's also one hand at a time, which would be right hand goes towards a straight leg, push into both feet, and the hand glides across to the left or the bent leg and back out to the straight leg. It makes kind of like a triangle from the point to the point to the point. But we also have a circle coming through. Okay, you also have what's going on the inside with that movement. So I'm just going to review on the other hand what's going to happen. So you're going out and it sweeps forward. It's a big circular action, pushing to both feet. And it goes from the straight leg over to the bent leg, goes back out and comes forward. Okay, so you've got that little action. If you put the two together, you have those two circles passing each other, creating that figure 8. Okay, so now what happens if you take that hand out there and you sweep it in and you turn it back out? Okay, I'm going to exaggerate. So I'm going to sweep in, turn the hand back out. The reason I exaggerated that so you could just see figure 8. And I'm doing that because your shoulders are going to follow your hand, which is really what we're doing when we're standing. It's just this beautiful little dance that goes on between the hips, the shoulders, the arms. Okay, so let's do it with the other side. So the hand's going to come in, the hand changes, it goes back out. Okay, now this isn't something we really practice when we're doing Tai Chi. However, as I've been trying to get you to understand reciprocals, different parts of the bodies help other parts of the body, but also the influence of one movement over other movements, just to see how you change your hands, changes the shoulders, changes the hips. So you can probably feel right there, everything's fluidly moving around. Okay, so what I want you to do is go to the other side of your chair. So I would be going to put my left leg straight forward and my right leg bent. And then I'm going to copy that same action. But what I'm going to do is stand up. So if you're staying seated, that's where you are. But if you're standing up, what I want you to do is put the Tor Yu stance in, and I want you to just feel the freedom of the movement where it expands and contracts. So that concept of where those three motions go. Okay, so I'm going to put I'm going to turn sideways because I think that'll help. Put the left foot 45, sink onto the left, place the right foot straight forward to the side, and then that allows me to turn my hips to square to the side. So both hip bones are facing sideways, my belly button is sideways, and my job is to get my head, my shoulders, my hips, and my heel at the back in one planked line. Okay, so that's what I'm aiming for. So in a regular Tor Yu, two hands would go up. Push into the feet, and you'd sink back into the left. The hands would cross, they would come out. I think you can probably just see with the action, the figure 8 that starts to come in to the pattern. Push out. Push into the right foot, sends you back. Push into the left foot, sends you forward. Now let your belly lead. Belly brings you back. Belly takes you forward. All right, that's when movement radiates from the center of the body out the core, which is beautiful. Okay, so there's two hands. Yesterday we did them flat. So what we did was, instead of pushing out this way, I just left them flat. So my hands tend to go fairly flat here. So what I did was, I kept them flat, let them come back to the hip, and then I just let them glide back out with the belly, straight. Push into the foot, glide back. Now the reason I did that was because I wanted the hips and the shoulders to find a way to completely relax, and the palms being down creates that. So if your hips and lower back are like mine, which tend to be fairly tight, that creates a way for you to figure out how to relax so that when you go back to the regular Tor Yu, you can keep that feeling of that openness. Wherever you might have some tightness come in, hopefully you'll be able to kind of override it with your mind and go back to what it feels like to be relaxed. So now what I'm going to do is going to go one hand. So my right hand is going to go out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle it back towards me so it faces me. Then I'm going to turn the palm out away from me, and I'm going to let it pull my hip forward. So the palm comes around. You might recognize this from some of the foundations. Turns, comes out. So you have a hand turning exercise, but you also have a spiral action that sinks in there. And as soon as I start doing this, my stomach just starts gurgling away. I seem to find the way for everything to relax. Okay, and it's that turn of the hand that you have at fist underneath the elbow that creates that same turn. Okay, so that's that hand. So now you've got the left hand, okay? So what's going to happen is turn the palm towards you, sink back, and then turn the palm away from you, sink forward. Okay, let the hip go in the left, so there's no tension coming back, and then push from that left foot, guides you forward. Let everything relax as you sink into that right hip. And if you notice these hands are the same as foundations as well. And what we end up accomplishing is the movement of the hand happens with the hip, with the push of the feet, the relaxation of the knees and the hips coming through. Right. Okay. Let's see if we can put it on the other side. Hi, Rhonda. Nice to see you in there. It's an extra name added to the list. Okay, so I'll just back up so you can see my feet. So my right foot is turned 45 and sitting down on my right leg, and my left foot is straight forward this time. So let's walk back through all of what I just said because there's a lot there. So regular Toyu, hands would be pushing forward, hips would be lining up to the side wall so that the hips are facing the same direction as the knee and the foot, and the belly isn't off over to the corner facing the 45, it's actually turned itself, line up. If I did it right, I have a head to hip to heel, making a plank, one long straight line. Okay, and it'll be two hands go out, let the hips go on the right, and you just sink back, nice and gentle. Push into that right foot, we'll send you back. Sink back, push into the right foot, takes you forward. So there's our Toyu action. And again, I've always had kind of a love-hate relationship with this exercise. And that's because my back, inevitably, somewhere in the lower back, will end up being tight. And it'll reflect either in my lower back or it'll reflect in my knees. And it's not necessarily because I got the position wrong, it's just the tension starts to build up. Okay, so I'm there. So now what I'm going to do is turn my hands flat, and I'm just going to let the body guide them back and guide them forward. Sink back into the right leg, let the hip relax. If you went back with tension, which is what I did, let it go. Sink into the left. Sink back into the right. Sink into the left. So, with the hands going flat, we change the hip just a little bit to try to find a way to relax anything that's got some tension in it that's preventing our regular Toyu from working the way we want it. So if I go back to the regular Toyu, we're here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with the figure 8 and see if we can loosen a little bit more up. I have a nice little tightness on the left side. It's just screaming at me. So I'm going to take my left hand, which is the same as left foot forward, and my palm is going to turn to sink back, and then my palm will turn back out to push away. Palm turns, palm turns. So nice and gentle. I'm noticing on this side of my body, there is not the fluidity that I feel when I'm on the other leg. Definitely is different. So the fluidity of my shoulders to my hip, it's not quite the same. So I could benefit from playing around with the awareness a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to bring that through. Okay, so that would be that one. So now if I take the right hand out, the right hand, the palm will come back. Turn the palm forward. And again, if you think about the foundations, there is spine rotation. That hand is in there, sinking back. Palm's going to turn, sink back. So this is all just about figuring out how do we let some of those tighter pieces release and let go. Okay, so that'll give us that. Whew. Okay, that's a fair bit. I'm just going to take a peek. I've been keeping you longer and longer, obviously relaxed with the weeks that have gone by. So I wanted to finish off with Cook's Hookups, which is not Tai Chi, but it's a wonderful exercise to line up all the figure eight patterns in the body. You can do it lying in bed. You can do it sitting in a chair, waiting somewhere, sitting in the car, waiting. It's a great little exercise. I like to do it first thing in the morning to set up my day. If I'm goal setting for the day, what kind of day I want to have, I'll put it there. I know someone else that used it for going to sleep at night. So I'm just taking my right leg, crossing it over my left. So you're just over top, hopefully you can see that. And then I'm just going to take my hand, cross it over to the other one, turn the palms so they face each other and link the fingers, and just hang out in front. You can turn the fingers this way too if you prefer. I like to keep mine down. And you're going to put the tongue on the roof of your mouth and just breathe deep. So now, if you think about sharing all the energy we created today with those who need it, who've been working really hard or adjusting, or who have hardships that have come as a result of COVID-19, and it can be you too, but we're sending the energy out. Take a deep breath in. And sharing as far and wide as we can with our network of people. And one more. Okay, so now what you're going to do for part 2 is put your feet shoulder width apart, bring your fingertips together, and you can be doing this standing too. And just fingertips go in front of the belly button, and just breathe deep again. Might feel your shoulders let go. Breath goes a little deeper. One more. Awesome. Okay, so the end of Pons, Lu, and we'll move over to on tomorrow. Also, just letting you play. I hope that Seth is feeling better. There is a lot coming out in some newsletters over the next couple of days. Please keep an eye on dancedebut.com's blog spot. I will post as much as I can here, but there'll be lots coming from different angles that I know will make it to my website. You'll be able to check in there. And there's more videos that need to go up on Tai Chi Wellness on YouTube. So those are coming shortly as well. So just the next couple of days, keep your eyes open. We also have a special session that the Atlantic Therapeutic Touch Network is going to do on Wednesday morning at 9:30 our time, which doesn't help people out west. It would be 5:30 in the morning for some, 6:30 for some. That might not be bad. And that is to send healing energy again to all those people affected by COVID-19. So if you have a chance to do a little Tai Chi, even Cook's Hookups, before you get out of bed on Wednesday morning, you'll be linking up energetically with an entire network here on the East Coast. And we just thought we'd send it further and wider and help to match some of the other global healing initiatives that are happening around the world. So if we keep the wave going of energy to support, then we know the recovery is going to be much faster for those people who have been quite ill and are working hard to gain their wellness back. Okay, have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you for being here. Be well. I will see you tomorrow, and may you have some fun with figure eights. Take care. Thanks for being here.